Hi, and welcome to another episode of Tommy's Tractors. And as promised, here's the second surprise I've got for you. Behind me is a tractor that my brother bought back in 1984. I'm pretty sure that's when he bought it. And he's decided it's time for it to go down the road. And I didn't want it to leave the family because I was 12 when we got it. And between this and the Super C, these were the two tractors that we had over there that I learned to drive on. So this is the first load here. I've got to go back and get another load of stuff. I believe this is an M3 rollover plow, and what's interesting to me, and it's been like this I think since my brother picked it up a long time ago, it's got one smooth disc on the right and then serrated on the left. I don't believe this has spent much time in a rollover position. I feel like over just little gardens that we've had that's only gone one way. And then I believe this is a KBL. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is a KBL disc, and it's got the Bog Hero on the front with the smooth discs on the back, and I know it works really well. I actually had this for my other M that I had, and then my brother had it, and now I've got it back. I'll use this here pretty soon. I think we're almost to the point where I can get out there and do some disking, but it's going to want a paint job. This is a 51 power mower, and I know this end came off a number 5. Maybe it's this end. The strap end is on that end. This is the flywheel end, and I've got the right one to put on it, but I'm not going to use this mower anyway. It does work. We mowed a lot with it, but I've got that new Gaspardo, so I won't be using these little sickle bar mowers anymore. I mean, like I said, it works fine. They are a little worn out, but there's no power hydraulic fold on it. This is a 6-footer. See if I can find a return spring for this right here. The battery's in here. This is a vertical 2-cylinder. Most of the John Deeres before this were horizontal, so the piston was all through here, and this is probably, besides like the little Hercules and the L, this is one of the first ones to have a vertical 2-cylinder engine in it. These are thermo-siphon. There's no water pump. This actually really only works with water in it. If you put antifreeze, it overheats. So you have to remember to drain it before you store it for the winter. This has the single hydraulic valve on it. The MT had two, one for each side. This one just has one. These tractors, like the Super A and the 140, all those, it's a lot easier to get on than get off. And interestingly, the wheelbase on this tractor is longer than the 8N. We'll have more on this at a later date. 3-point hitch adapter. I know this toolbox right here is for a different type of seat. It doesn't fit in that one for some reason. A couple of drawbars. One of these PTO guards goes to a John Deere 50. The other one goes to this tractor. There's two. 1, 2. I know the complete history of this tractor. It was bought locally down in Sanford at what used to be Shaw's Ridge Equipment. And the guy's name was Harold Shaw, and he had a lot of prize-winning Holsteins, and then he opened up a John Deere dealership right after World War II, and so a lot of tractors in the area came from there, and they still do. It's United Ag and Turf now, but the building's the same one that went up along in the 70s. Before that, the guy sold everything at his farm, and ironically, the same train that used to come through to go drop off the IH tractors is the same one that dropped off the John Deere tractors. So that's just a little interesting tidbit. But this tractor, once it was bought in Sanford, never left Limerick. This is the second surprise I had for you. I don't have any more in store anytime in the near future. So these two right here are the ones we'll be using this spring, in addition to the Super C. Got some work to do on the 8N. I've got most of the parts now for the 12-volt conversion. I've got a bumper for it and some other stuff. But regardless, that's it for today. Appreciate you watching. Talk to you next time.